Getting to play a lead role in creating an entirely new look for a respected station like 7 News, that's something that many people don't ever get a chance to do. Good evening, thank you for joining us. I've had the honor of being the weekend anchor at 7 News for the past few years, one of the most watched local news stations in the country. We're talking about a place that's capable of a 35 rating and a 60 share at a 6 p.m. show. That's where I've learned to be a jack of all trades. On the weekend, I do it all. I report, shoot, edit, write, produce, web, anchor, you name it. I essentially run the newsroom on the weekends. And I've always paid attention to how a newscast looks. We did it. Today we hold the title as coldest place in the entire United States. The audience may not always be able to put their finger on why they like something, but if the news looks sharp, it catches eyes.
Watching the North Country's news station. 7 News this evening starts now. From our studio in downtown Watertown, here's Ann Richter.
So it all happened when our main anchor, who was highly respected in the community and had been at the desk for decades, announced her retirement. We had 6 weeks to put together a brand new graphics package before she retired. My bosses came to me and said, "Pat, we want you to help make this new graphics package with us." For years, Channel 7 had a very respected look in the North Country, something viewers had grown accustomed to. So we had to make sure that we didn't lose that identity that had made the station successful for so long, but adding a fresh look to what the viewers were used to. So we stayed up late every night watching news, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, what looks good, constantly making mock graphics, bouncing them off of each other. And here's what we came up with in the end.
From the North Country's news station, 7 News Tonight starts now.
On 7 News Tonight, Gregory Noonan trial update, the man who performed the autopsy, and Barbara Getman takes the stand.
I couldn't have any treatment while I was pregnant, and it did grow a little bit larger.
Plus, a mother's bout with skin cancer makes this a very special Mother's Day for her and her family. But first, because of high water levels, the speed limit for big ships on the St. Lawrence Seaway has been reduced down to 10 knots. Good evening, thank you for joining us. I'm Patrick Malowski. And while it's standard for a big market to have this, implementing a lower third bar that stays on the screen was a big deal for 7 News. We had to train as staff a completely new way of producing news that they weren't used to. I'm really proud of the package we put together, and it taught me a lot of things as far as best ways to tell stories using graphics, the best way to break up a newscast to keep it fresh for an audience. St. Lawrence University has received its biggest donation ever, $25 million. I've had the honor of building a graphics package with a great team, and I've worked at what's one of the most respected small-town America TV stations under journalists who have made a career covering the North Country. But most of all, I've had the chance to impact the way that we tell stories using our graphics, using our words, impact many people in the way they watch TV news, and in the end, that's really what it's all about.